Namaste, Sacred Masters, and welcome to this pick a card session for your shadow work. We have the deck shuffle and 3 random cards from the Dark Mirror Oracle deck placed before you. If you want to purchase this deck, look for the link in the description box below. You can pause the video and take your time to see if any of these cards resonate with you, and then use the time code in order to jump to the card you choose. This is card 1, 2, and 3. Don't forget there are many more pick a card videos to choose from. You can find them in my playlist, Shadow Work Pick a Shadow Card, on my channel's main page, so don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell for more pick a card sessions. After you pick your card, I will explain what each card means in the book. Now, the book's description is poetic and can be confusing sometimes, but for the sake of sharing, I will read it out, then give you my interpretation of it. You will hear my interpretation when I remove my mask and speak with my normal voice. I will also give you a shadow prompt in order to get started on some shadow work based on the card you pick, together with Grabovia codes to help with your shadow work sessions, or sometimes a link to another video relating to the matter. Alright, let's get started. Pick a card and jump to the timestamp. The card that you pick is Colorless Angel, represented by the first quarter moon phase, and is illustrated as a dark horse prancing proudly in the background. He wears a crown of mirth, his face expressionless. Behind him, wings of smoke and bones grow or disappear. The sentence resonating with this card is, apathy is the crowned king of nothingness and the shining queen of whatever. This hints that we can be Siegfried, the dragon-slaying hero, but not when he slays the dragon, nor when he is betrayed and dies, but when he is simply doing nothing. We can be Michael the Archangel while he waits bored and motionless, and St. George surprised in a moment of stillness and nothingness. All the strong rivers can become a swamp when they reach the plains, and the most yummy food can become gummy after a couple of hours unattended on a table. There is a lot of darkness when we make the habit of going gray. We numb our senses with a fog of delays, and then we just get indifferent to the fog herself. I'm here, we whisper. And if by a very tiny chance somebody notices and replies it as, who's there? We become shy and stay silent a little more. You cannot be safe unless you face the dragon. And the dragon hurts. Of course it does. This card talks about something I've mentioned in one of my videos that relates to the law of inspired action. Oftentimes when we want something, we sit and wait for it to happen or manifest instead of taking action for it. When our energies do not change, when we are stagnant, nothing in our life changes and we're doomed to repeat a cycle over and over again. We wonder why our relationships do not grow, why our wealth doesn't build. But if we don't do something different to change things around, we cannot expect to see different results. Your shadow prompt for this card is, what can I do to change things around? What new risk can you take today? What small changes can you make to keep the energy flowing? The universe is like water needing to be in constant motion. When we keep doing the same thing over and over again, it's just swirling around in circles. We must make our energies like the river, flowing into the vast oceans of abundance. So, what can you change today? Use the Grabovia code 9888-772-988, which represents personal development, but also to affect change in your life through growth. If you want to know how to use Grabovia codes in your sessions for meditating or journaling, check out the link above or in the description box below. I hope this session gives you something to work on. Pick up your shadow journals and let's start finding our inner and true authentic self. I'll try to post more pick a card every week depending on my schedule, so that gives you some time to sit with your shadow prompt and begin working on positive changes to a new life. If you found something new about yourself, don't forget to comment and share with others as well. This not only helps build courage and self-esteem, but it also encourages others that they are not alone. I'll see you in the next session. Namaste. You chose the Temple of My Body card. The card relates to the moon phase of the first quarter and is illustrated with a succubus-like creature with claws resembling nails that holds a very thin silver chain, and the pendant on it appears like a crimson tear of blood. The sentence that describes the feeling of the card is, "My body is the temple of my soul. It has no secrets to me." So what does this card mean? This card is about the darkness in the body. Culture can make us take distance from what is our corporality. So many religions and customs, for instance, demonize sex in many different ways, lacing it with guilt as an assassin could lace food with poison. On the other side, we are collaborators in cheapening our body, hiding it, being shamed by it, selling it, giving it away for nothing. It happens when we accept an abusive relationship, when we refuse to respect the body of another, or more simply when we do things like being too lazy to eat healthy. Our body is a temple. It cannot be defiled. We can take a shower, raise our chin, feel proud. It is our body, ours. What this card tells us is that oftentimes we neglect to take care of ourselves. Whether or not it is through intimacy or what we put into our body like food, we have to take care of our bodies because it was the first gift to us from the universe. It is our only vessel, and once it is defiled and decayed, it is gone forever. Your shadow prompt for this would be, what are times I have done harm to my body? I want you to make a list today, and then on the other side of the list, begin to write down all the ways you can do the opposite. Begin to start your journey on taking care of yourself so that you can show the world what a wonderful sentient being you are. You can use this healing music that I'll put on the link above and description below for perfect health. The Grabovia code in the video that can help you is 1814321, which is used for self-healing of the body. If you want to know how to use Grabovia codes in your sessions for meditating or journaling, check out the link above or in the description box below. I hope this session gives you something to work on. Pick up your shadow journals and let's start finding our inner and true authentic self. I'll try to post more pick a card every week depending on my schedule, so that gives you some time to sit with your shadow prompt and begin working on positive changes to a new life. If you found something new about yourself, don't forget to comment and share with others as well. This not only helps build courage and self-esteem, but it also encourages others that they are not alone. I'll see you in the next session. Namaste. The card you picked is Parasite. It is represented by the waxing crescent moon and is illustrated with a long-haired man with pale-faced heavy lids. A dull golden chain drapes over his forehead. Around his body and through his body, poisonous ivy grows and clings subtly to him. The sentence that resonates with this card is, "What can't survive alone will seek company, but instead of growing together, they will wither together." What this card is trying to say is that relationships is not a zero-sum game. Of course, using each other is part of the game, but it's quite different when use takes the shape of supporting rather than manipulation or exploiting. In the long run, a good relationship is a win-win, where the more I give, the more I get, and the other way around. Still, it's not always like this, isn't it? Not just in bad relationships. In the short run, bad is bound to happen even in the house of true love. We cling, we bite, we hunger for safety and freedom and support. And on the other side, we get mangled, bitten, demanded on. Well, it happens too often. It creates a toxic environment. It doesn't matter if we are the victim or the perpetrator, as poison is shared equally. One gets the pain, another gets the advantage. But the toxic part, they both get fully a parasite, a leech, killing itself as much as it kills the host. It sacrifices the journey to the destination, and then the destination to its own failures. The problem is not living as sheep, but the true problem is living as a sheep for 100 years.
Now, it doesn't have to be a love relationship, but toxic relationships can extend to even family and friends. As long as a relationship makes you unhappy and you feel a sense of burden, you are in a toxic relationship. They are sometimes hard to spot because we deny it by choosing to remember only the moments of love. Toxic relationships happen because there is a lack of trust, honesty, and support. Sprinkle it with communication issues, jealousy, regret, disrespect, and lack of self-care, and you have a golden recipe for toxic relationships. For most of us, we can spot a toxic relationship from afar. But what happens when we could be the one who is toxic? All it could take is unhealed wounds from the past to make someone toxic, and they don't even realize it because they believe their actions are coming from a place of self-protection. We become so wrapped in our own desires and wants, we do not realize that our actions may hurt others. A mother-in-law could be toxic to her daughter-in-law because she wants the best for her son, and her son to be taken care of in the way she believes works, because that's her only experience. So, time to step back and do a double check on your life. Your shadow prom is to take a hard look inside and ask, what toxic traits do I have and how do they present themselves? Start to look at how you project them onto others. This is a good time to do a query now because you're doing it on your own. And it is the best time because you can repair your relationship now before they are beyond repair. Use the Grabovio code 391194886061 to foster the energies of understanding for your session. If you want to know how to use Grabovio codes in your sessions for meditating or journaling, check out the link above or in the description box below. I hope this session gives you something to work on. Pick up your shadow journals and let's start finding our inner and true authentic self. I'll try to post more pick a card every week depending on my schedule, so that gives you some time to sit with your shadow prom and begin working on positive changes to a new life. If you found something new about yourself, don't forget to comment and share with others as well. This not only helps build courage and self-esteem, but it also encourages others that they are not alone. I'll see you in the next session. Namaste.